Catherine Simaloi is our sign language interpreter. Good evening. I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Welcome to the broadcast. To our top story tonight, and a 50-kilogram bag of fertilizer will retail from 1,775 shillings to a maximum cost of 3,500 shillings. This comes after the National Treasury availed 3.55 billion shillings to kickstart the fertilizer subsidy program with effect from the 19th of September this year. In a statement on Tuesday, Agriculture Principal Secretary Francis Owino noted that the program will begin in counties which are planting during the short rain season and will be available through the National Cereals and Produce Board. Stanley Nyaringita begins our broadcast tonight.
Farmers are expected to benefit from the subsidized prices of fertilizers. This is after the National Treasury availed 3.55 billion Kenyan shillings following the directive given by President William Ruto that the government will create interventions meant to make fertilizers affordable to farmers and boost crop productivity. In a statement on Tuesday, Agriculture Principal Secretary Francis Owino noted that the program will see 1.4 million bags of fertilizer be availed to farmers at a maximum subsidized price of 3,500 Kenyan shillings per 50 kg bag, down from the current price of up to 6,500 Kenyan shillings. In the new prices, which are effective September 19, 2022, farmers will be able to purchase diammonium phosphate, DAP, fertilizer to a tune of 3,500 Kenyan shillings, while calcium ammonium nitrate, CAN, will go for 2,875 Kenyan shillings. Farmers will also have to part with 3,500 Kenyan shillings to buy a 50 kg bag of urea. Moreover, a 50 kg bag of NPK, MOP, and sulfate of ammonia will be sold at 3,275 Kenyan shillings, 1,775 Kenyan shillings, and 2,220 Kenyan shillings respectively. PS Owino noted that the subsidy fertilizer program will begin in counties which are planting during the short rain season and will be available through the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, Depot, and Sub-Depot countrywide. Stanley Nyaringita, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, the Senate House members have retreated to Naivasha in Nakuru County for a 5-day induction course, with the issue of the Senate's role in legislation expected to stand out. Our very own Willie Dennis Njiru explains.
Speaking during the inaugural speech at a 5-day senators' induction in Naivasha, Senate Speaker Mason Kingi has said that it is important that the Senate goes for a push towards allocation of a kitty to enable it perform its oversight role better.
You cannot pretend to do oversight if you're not facilitated to go see exactly the resources that you have appropriated to the different counties, what these resources are doing. And the only way to do that is to enable to facilitate the senators. Otherwise, they'll be Nairobi here, and Kenyans will start bashing them. That how comes we are seeing a lot of misuse of resources, and yes, senators, you're not aware. But you see, how do we make them aware if they cannot even leave their offices to go down and actually do proper oversight? So for effective oversight, we just have to facilitate these people. As it is now, it's like sending a soldier to the battlefield with a gun that has no bullet. Certainly he'll come back here in a coffin.
According to the members, there was no clear cut-out mandate, blaming inadequate resources advanced to them, leading to a dependence of facilitation from the governor's kitty.
Wakitoka hapa, senators wawe wana ujuzi wa kutosha ili wakiendesha shughuli zao katika bunge wawe wamejua mapana na marefu kuhusu Senate na kazi ya Senate na vile kamati ama commission zingine ama tume zingine za kikatiba zinafanya kazi kivipi na bunge la Senate.
Regarding the debate on which political side is supreme, Kingi exuded confidence on yet to be made ruling by the National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula in due course.
If you ask me as the party leader of power, I will tell you legally I belong to the Kenya Kwanza coalition, and I'll give you the legal basis. So again, let's leave this to the Speaker. to make a ruling. Let me not preempt.
To promote smooth operation between the two houses, the two speakers have mutually agreed to foster unity for the good of the citizenry.
Nimezungumza na kakangu ambaye ni spika wa bunge la kitaifa, na tumesema kwamba ikiwa hapo awali kulikuwa na mikwaruzano na ubabe, basi mikwaruzano ile na ubabe ule kwa sasa tutauzika katika kaburi la sahau.
Reporting for TV47 from Naivasha in Nakuru County, I'm Willie Dennis Njeru.
Now, Nakuru Governor Susan Kihika has made new changes in her administration in 4 key areas to improve and streamline different services in Nakuru County. Take a look.
You are watching TV47. Disability is not only limited to physical disorder, but also mental issue. From depression.
I was under depression for like 2 years.
Bipolar.
Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder.
And even suicidal thoughts.
When I was just about to hang myself, a certain voice just talked to me, and I believe that was God. I tried suicide more than 6 times.
Beyond the Limit has gone beyond its limit to find answers so as to help everyone go through life with ease. Join Muthoni Maina every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Starting this September at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, the Realtor brings it all to perspective. We identify a property, discuss and demonstrate the journey towards ownership.
Professionals who have integrity, and from their catalog you can easily read that these are professionals who are able to deliver.
Everywhere you go, you have to up your games, you have to go with the trends.
Not forgetting the margins as well as the risks that come along.
The runaway prices of the land. We are saying that it's something that we can never go without mentioning. Any developer will not go without mentioning the price of land.
Don't miss out. Do you want the latest news on farming? We've got the WikiLeaks for you. Get it? No? Well, okay. Every week, we give you insights on different farms, from crop farming to animal keeping.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now, one person has been killed, a police officer seriously injured, and over 60 herds of cattle stolen by bandits in Samburu County. Samburu governor has cautioned residents from seeking vengeance and wants the government to take action.
This is Kum in Samburu County, the convergence point of 3 counties, Samburu, Isiolo and Marsabit. Residents here are a worried lot. This is after they were attacked by bandits who killed 1 person, seriously injured a police officer, and made away with over 600 heads of cattle. The residents are concerned over the silence from the government hours after the attack yesterday.
Serikali yako na nguvu ya kurudishia community mali yao. Sheria ya serikali nalinda watu na mali zao. Na kama ameshindwa, akupali ameshindwa, apatie watu nafasi ya kupikana. kwa sababu mtu kuibwa mali yake na serikali hapana rudishie yeye. Hiyo mtu atakula nini na hana kitu kingine ya kukula? Atakula nini? Na kama serikali hapana rudishia, si yeye amesupport hiyo waizi aende kuiba tena.
Hao jamaa wametuweza nguvu. Sasa tukarudi. Ng'ombe zetu asimeenda na tumerudi na tumebaki bila ng'ombe. Kwa hivyo saa hii tumekuwa ile maskini ile ya kutosha.
Samburu County Governor Lati Leleit has urged residents not to seek vengeance. He, at the same time, wants the government to act and return the stolen livestock to their rightful owners.
Muko na serikali huko, muko na machifu, muko na AP. Kutoka kesho tafadhali mutoe hiyo ng'ombe kutoka hiyo tauni mbili. Kwa sababu ukiona pa nyuma sisi tumesuia wenye hiyo ng'ombe kwenda kulipisha kisasi. Tumeambia hawezi enda kwa sababu sisi ni watu tunapenda amani. Lakini wataweza kasirika kama ng'ombe wao itatolewa na tunajua ile tauni mbele. So chief ya Saleti, chief ya Matarba, commissioner ya Isiolo County, IG ya polisi nimewaambia hiyo ng'ombe iko Saleti na iko Matarba. Tulienda leo na ndege chopa, tumesimama juu angani tukiangalia gauliwa ng'ombe kwa ng'ombe.
Tumepiga simu DIG, tumemwandikia message na hatujapata jawabu. Na hakuna serikali tumeona leo. Kuna pia askari ambayo aliumizwa na pia serikali hawao kuweza kuja kuona ama kupatia hawa nguvu wale ambao walikuwa wanafuata mfugo. Na tunaambia watu wetu wakae kwa amani, wasilipishe kisasi. Lakini tunaambia serikali sisi tukidumisha amani, hawa pia wafuate mifugo ambayo imeenda. Kwa sababu watu ambao wako hapa ni wale ambao wanategemea hiyo mfugo.
The bandits are reported to have been heavily armed. So far, no one has been arrested in connection to the raid. Sharon Baranga, TV47.
Now, Kenyans may be required to wait longer before President William Ruto's new cabinet is constituted after the Public Service Commission extended the deadline for application for principal secretary positions. The Commission extended the application deadline by 7 days from Tuesday, September 20th to Tuesday, September 27th. Moige William has the details.
Interested persons for the position of Principal Secretary have 7 more days to submit the application to the Public Service Commission after the deadline was further pushed to September 27th. In a statement by the Commission, interested applicants now have 7 more days to apply for the positions that are expected to fall vacant following the general polls held on August 9th, 2022. Earlier, on September 7th, 2022, PSC invited interested and qualified Kenyans to apply for the positions of Principal Secretaries. The Public Service Commission is mandated and expected to make recommendations of persons to be appointed to the President, who will then nominate candidates for the position and consequently the names forwarded to Parliament for approval. Principal Secretaries are usually involved in the coordination and implementation of government projects in state departments. They also oversee the allocation of resources in the counties. Currently, there are 44 Principal Secretaries serving in different state departments. Their term is expected to lapse immediately after new ones are appointed by President William Ruto. Also, President William Ruto is likely to go for elected members of parliament so as to fill in positions in his cabinet. President Ruto is expected to go for his close allies to join him in the executive. On Saturday in Naivasha, Ruto's Kenya Kwanza revealed its National Assembly and Senate leadership, which set tongues wagging after senior members of the coalition were left out for the top house positions. Word has it that some of the senior members in the Kenya Kwanza coalition left out of the positions are likely to resign and join the cabinet. Such are the likes of Kipchumba Murkomen, Elgeyo Marakwet Senator, who served as Senate Majority Leader before being ousted in 2020. Aden Duale, having served as Majority Leader in the 12th Parliament but was not picked for the same position for the 13th Parliament, is also likely to be in Ruto's cabinet.
I am currently the Senator of Elgeyo Marakwet County, serving my 3rd term, and when the party meets and agrees on what role I'm going to play in Bunge, I will be more than willing to continue playing that role. Yeah. So far, that's my focus, to see what I can do for the people of Elgeyo Marakwet and for the people of Kenya through the Senate and devolution.
Others who are eagerly awaiting cabinet position include former Turkana Governor Josephat Nanok, Foreign Affairs CAS Ababu Namwamba, Maendeleo Chapchap leader Alfred Mutua, Chama cha Kazi boss Moses Kuria, former Kwale Governor Salim Mvurya, and former National Speaker Justin Muturi. President Ruto is also faced with a delicate balancing act, having promised that his cabinet will have 50% of the slots given to women.
Cabinet position you don't apply. You actually, it's a privilege to serve in a cabinet position. And I don't think any of us should have an entitlement. Let's allow the president to pick the best that he feels will serve his cabinet and the country.
Moige William, TV 47.
Elsewhere, Uganda's Ministry of Health has confirmed an Ebola virus outbreak in the country following the death of a 24-year-old man in Mubende district, central Uganda. While addressing a press conference, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health in Uganda has said patient 0 showed symptoms such as high fever, diarrhea, vomiting blood and abdominal pains before succumbing to the virus during treatment. Our health reporter Zainab Mohammed has more.
After more than a decade of completely eradicating the Sudan Ebola virus in Uganda, the country is yet again facing an outbreak of the virus after a 24-year-old man died from the virus in Mubende district in central Uganda. According to the country's Ministry of Health, patient 0 complained of EVD symptoms such as high fever, diarrhea, vomiting blood and abdominal pains before succumbing to the disease during treatment.
This patient had been admitted in St. Florence Medical Clinic between 11th and 13th of September 2022, where he was managed as clinical malaria. While in isolation in Mubende Regional Referral Hospital, he deteriorated, developed the yellowing of eyes. He started passing out tea-colored urine and also complained of severe abdominal pain.
The World Health Organization, whilst affirming Uganda's capability to handle the virus, has confirmed that 6 suspicious deaths have previously occurred in Mubende district, with 8 more suspected cases currently in hospital. WHO says it is in the process of identifying persons who interacted with the patient in order to monitor their health.
We are right now gathering more information on the possible source of infection of the confirmed cases. We also want to let you know that on suspicion of this patient, the district rapid response team initiated investigations as they had also been informed of the community deaths. And these reports were specifically talking about strange illness and sudden deaths in the villages of Madudu and Chiruma sub-counties in Mubende district.
Uganda last reported a Sudan Ebola virus outbreak in 2012 and a Zaire Ebola virus outbreak in 2019. There have been 7 previous Sudan Ebola virus outbreaks in Africa, 4 occurring in Uganda and 3 in Sudan. Last month, the Kenyan government asked health surveillance officers on the border of Kenya and Uganda to stay alert after WHO announced a possible Ebola case in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Ebola is a severe, often fatal illness affecting humans and primates. The virus manifests itself through symptoms such as high fever, diarrhea, bleeding from body openings and abdominal pains. Zainab Mohammed, T47.
The county assemblies of Trans Nzoia, Murang'a, Isiolo, Turkana, Machakos and Kisumu County have new leadership after successfully electing their speakers and deputies. Our reporter Boniface Barasa has the details.
Today, a section of county assemblies played host to another political showdown as candidates eyeing the speakership position of the various assemblies battle it out for the coveted position. The first assignment was taking the oath of office by the respective elected members of county assemblies. In Trans Nzoia County Assembly, Andrew Muhisa Wanyonyi, who vied for governorship in 2017, emerged the winner after garnering 20 votes in the second round against his opponent Wesley Korir, who managed 13 votes.
To support our executive, His Excellency George Natembeya, he sold his manifesto to our people in the county, and our role is going to just assist him on oversight matters and help him achieve his objectives. So to the people of Trans Nzoia, expect good tidings.
In Murang'a County, Johnson Mukuha has emerged the winner in the speaker's race after securing 40 votes, while his opponent Stephen Macharia got 4 votes.
I look forward to not a vociferous house, but a serene, composed, and a house of robust and healthy debates.
In Isiolo County, there was drama after the residents raised concerns in protest of the nomination of Kelvin Lete Waruguru as special representative. They claim that the nominee is the brother to Kate Waruguru, the former Laikipia County woman representative. The situation prompting the area governor Abdi Guyo to intervene to calm the locals. Later, Mohamed Roba Koto was elected the third speaker of the assembly. He got 18 votes, while his opponent Hassan Kumpa and Paul Mero registered 0 votes.
I'm deeply honored and privileged to be elected as the Speaker of the County Assembly of Isiolo, and I wish to express my appreciation to all for the confidence and trust.
Christopher Nakuleo, the immediate former member of parliament for Turkana North, has made a comeback in the political field after being elected unopposed as the Speaker of Turkana County Assembly, while his 4 opponents who applied were disqualified for failing to meet the threshold.
I have a mandate of steering this County Assembly of Turkana to the realization of its noble role and mandate of oversighting the executive.
Similarly, Teddy Mwambire, former immediate Ganze member of parliament, has won the speakership of the Kilifi County Assembly by garnering 37 votes out of 51. And at the Lake City County, Elisha Oraro defended his seat and won.
Honorable members,
in Machakos County, MCS elected Ann Kiusia, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, to lead the Legislative House. She managed 50 votes. Members of County Assembly in Uasin Gishu, West Pokot, Bungoma, Kakamega, among other counties, will elect their speakers and deputies on Wednesday. Boniface Barasa, TV47.
Thank you, Boniface, for that report. Elsewhere, the Kenya Kwanza and Azimio coalitions are still jostling to control the National Assembly ahead of the House's first sit-in slated for next week. This comes at the backdrop of a confusion that lies on the pre-election agreements signed by parties to join Azimio and have since defected to the Kenya Kwanza coalition.
As the battle for House majority rages, the Kenya Kwanza and Azimio la Umoja One coalitions are banking on their numerical strength in parliament to win the majority leader position. Both coalitions are still adamant that they are in control of the House, even as a bone of contention lies on the agreement signed by Azimio la Umoja affiliate parties following the signing into law of the Political Parties Amendment Bill 2021. The bill set the stage for registration of coalition political parties, with Azimio la Umoja being the first and currently only such outfit in the country.
Azimio One Kenya is not a coalition of political parties, it is a coalition political party. Kenya Kwanza is a coalition of political parties.
Legally, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party has an upper hand. However, the ruling Kenya Kwanza Alliance has gone ahead to lure members of the Azimio affiliated parties into its corner, as well as some independent members of the parliament. However, legally, pre-election agreement is vital in determining the majority in the parliament.
Those who have started contracting new marriages without a proper divorce, because legally, Until you have a divorce certificate, you cannot go having another marriage.
Legally, I belong to the Kenya Kwanza coalition, and I'll give you the legal basis. So again, let's leave this to the Speaker to make a ruling.
The reality might be, yes, UDM or PA or Maendeleo Chap, and according to the agreement and the procedures of leaving the membership of a coalition, that officially these parties are still perhaps within Azimio. But the reality is they have already bolted.
The political puzzle is in the hands of Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Wetangula, who has the final say on which party or coalition has a majority in accordance with the standing orders of the House.
The identity of what Azimio is, whether Azimio in the eyes and ears of the National Assembly is a political party, just the way ODM is a political party, UDA, KANU, etc. And so Azimio is an individual political party as is registered, or is it a coalition? You see, I think it's on that basis that for me, the Speaker will be able to make a call.
Flora Limuki, TV47.
Now, a new allocation formula for the National Government Constituencies Development Fund will see about 21 constituencies lose their current allocations based on a new formula allocation targeting the number of wards in the constituencies. The move, approved by MPs in June last year and adopted during the ongoing induction workshop, proposes constituencies with 3 wards to get 131 million shillings from 137 million shillings. Our senior political affairs reporter Apollo Kamau now reports.
Members of Parliament from 21 constituencies with less than 3 wards are crying foul over the new National Government Constituency Development Fund allocation formula that has slashed their allocation by 6 million shillings, saying the move will hurt development projects in their backyard. Among those affected is Sirisi MP John Waluke's constituency, which previously received 137 million shillings, but will now receive 131 million shillings.
Projects are affected. Like me, I had decided to put up storage buildings in my constituencies for schools. Now, like this year, I had proposed 5 schools with the storage building. I was told how to reduce it to 2. And even the bursaries is also affected.
Despite the protest, the new allocation formula was interestingly approved by MPs in June last year, making constituencies with a high number of wards receive additional funds based on the numbers. Proponents of the new formula, approved by the 12th Parliament, argue the differences are minor and the impact will not be much.
It has nothing to do with the Member of Parliament. It has to do with the people he represents. For example, I represent a constituency that has more than 500,000 people. And there's a constituency that has less than 100,000. We can't be equal. But this particular division of resources is much fairer because I get less because I'm in a city than some of the rural areas that have fewer populations.
The formula mirrors the allocation of funds to the 47 counties, where the devolved units get varying amounts based on population size, land area, healthcare, and roads. The country has 1,450 wards. Apol Kamau, TV47.
Now, President William Ruto is expected to represent the country in the 77th United Nations General Assembly, which is being held in the United States of America. In his 4-day trip, Ruto is expected to make a maiden speech as president to the United Nations and hold bilateral talks with several heads of states. Chepto Boit with the details.
President William Ruto is scheduled to lead Kenya's delegation to the 77th United Nations General Assembly UNGA to be held in New York, USA. The president is expected to attend the high-level segment of the meeting from today all the way to Friday. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, participation at the highest level in the UNGA is particularly important for Kenya as the country seeks to complete the second year of its non-permanent membership to the United Nations Security Council. While in the New York, the president is scheduled to give his debut address to the United Nations tomorrow and hold bilateral talks with several heads of state and government. The country at the same time will seek to promote its foreign policy at the multilateral system, including enhancing participation in the quest for realization of Sustainable Development Goals SDGs and global leadership in emerging issues including climate change. The 77th UNGA coincides with the worst drought in the Horn of Africa, with many countries in the region, including Kenya, experiencing unprecedented effects in the last 40 years. At the bilateral level, President Ruto will lead Kenya's quest to harness relations with the United States of America, guided by the 5 pillars bilateral strategic dialogue partnerships. The head of state will also attend to a working session with senior representatives of the American businesses, during which he will urge for increased trade and investment between the two countries. He will concurrently engage other select world leaders on priority areas of bilateral relations. In his capacity as coordinator, the Commander-in-Chief will also chair a meeting of the Conference of African Heads of States on Climate Crisis. Ruto last represented Kenya in the 2016 United Nations General Assembly UNGA while serving as the Deputy President under former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Chepto GOtv 47.
You are watching TV 47. The home. Disability is not only limited to physical disorder, but also mental issue. From depression.
I was under depression for like 2 years.
Bipolar.
Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder.
And even suicidal thoughts.
When I was just about to hang myself, a certain voice just talked to me, and I believe that was God. I tried suicide more than 6 times.
Beyond the Limit has gone beyond its limit to find answers so as to help everyone go through life with ease. Join Muthoni Maina every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Starting this September at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, The Realtor brings it all to perspective. We identify a property, discuss and demonstrate the journey towards ownership.
Professionals who have integrity, and from their catalog you can easily read that these are professionals who are able to deliver.
Everywhere you go, you have to up your games, you have to go with the trends.
Not forgetting the margins as well as the risks that come along.
The runaway prices of the land. We are saying that it's something that we can never go without mentioning. Any developer will not go without mentioning price of land.
Don't miss out. Do you want the latest news on farming? We've got the WikiLeaks for you. Get it? No? Well, okay. Every week, we give you insights on different farms, from crop farming to animal keeping.
They're very hardy insects, yeah? The larvae is a very hardy insect.
We look forward to having an optimum production in maybe about 5 years. Yes. Oh. Yeah.
So we plant every week and we harvest every week.
Join Violet Njoki every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as we skooma the wiki.
It's not all the time you have to read your farm. Sometimes it's of benefit.
For untold stories.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with Kenya's fastest growing television. Let's get to more news. And Nakuru Governor Susan Kihika has made new changes in her administration in 4 key areas to improve and streamline different services in Nakuru County. Chichi Josephine now reports.
Speaking to journalists in Nakuru, Governor Susan Kihika announced the decision of appointing a task force that is mandated with looking into issues surrounding the transport sector, the operational challenges faced by the sector, and give appropriate remedies.
Since the sector has been identified as a key source of wealth and prosperity, I have appointed a task force to consider, among other things, the operational challenges faced by the sector and recommend suitable remedies for immediate action.
In addition, the governor gave directives on a 100% waiver on all unpaid parking charges for the period running up to August, amounting to 142 million shillings.
I have authorized and directed 100% waiver of all unpaid parking charges for the period running up to August 2022, which, ladies and gentlemen, amounts to 142 million shillings. This intervention, I have no doubt, will afford the sector an opportunity to recover and engage further with my government.
Matatu owners in Nakuru, led by Chairman Stephen Muli, have stepped forward to appreciate Kihika's move to streamline the public transport sector.
Kama muungano wa matatu, tuko na furaha sana kwa kuweza kumshukuru sababu tumeona amewipe 142 million zinahusu parkings ambazo zimekuwa tukidaiwa na serikali account.
Nakuru Hawkers Chairman Sankale Ole Nasieko lauded the intervention by the governor of waiving the unpaid parking charges, noting that the move will give the sector an opportunity to recover and engage further with her government.
Tumeanza kuona matunda ya Canaan. Sinaona tumeona tumefika Canaan. Kwa sababu kama wale watu walikuwa na madeni 142 million. Nina marafiki wangu ambao walichoto magari kwa sababu walishindwa kuweza kulipa ile mikopo yao.
Tunaona kazi ya governor inafanyika. Na sisi tungesema sisi yote sasa tuko mkononi mwa governor na chairman wetu Bwana Muri, na tunataka kuambia wafanye kazi.
Asante.
Chichi Josephine, TV 47.
Let's get to the corridors of justice, and the court has ordered the removal of embattled chairman of the Kenya National Association of Parents, Nicholas Mayu, who has been ordered to vacate office within 7 days due to illegality surrounding his election into office. Also, in a developing court case on the Aroran Kimwarer Dams project, a witness has told the court that the implementation papers for the development were signed by former President Uhuru Kenyatta.
The court has ordered the removal of embattled chairman of the Kenya National Association of Parents, Nicholas Mayu.
The chairman who has been manning this office previously is one Mr. Mayu. Mr. Mayu has been in this office illegally.
High Court Judge Justice Ongudi allowed the application by the new officials of the association and directed Mayo to vacate the office within a period of 7 days.
The name of Nicholas Mayo was banned from assessing the office, which we are requiring the new National Parents Association to be handed over, and he was given 7 days, upon which we are going to serve him with the Honda.
During the hearing of the application, the court was told that Mayo was not properly elected as the chairman of the association and has been holding the office illegally. In a rather interesting turn of events in the corridors of justice, a witness in the Kimwarer and Aror multi-purpose dams project anti-corruption case has told the court today that former President Uhuru Kenyatta signed the implementation project papers on the 4th of August 2009 while he was Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance.
The notice implementation of all these programs and projects will span over a period of 8 years.
While being cross-examined by lawyer Katwa Kagan, Charity Mboe, a procurement specialist with Kerio Valley Development Authority, told the court that she prepared tender advertisement papers which were used in tandem to advertise the project. This as she denied personally assisting in the insertion of the tender numbers.
Under RDA quorum KVDA.
It says KVDA. And there are 3 KVDA projects, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
The witness also told the court that the then Minister for Regional Development, Frederick Gumo, and the late John Mishuki signed the project papers in the year 2008. Meanwhile, 2 women have been charged with fraud and forgery in Kisumu in a case involving 3 million Kenya shillings. The accused, Rosabella Wandere and Grace Awor, were arraigned before a Kisumu court for defrauding Rana Auto Section Limited, a vehicle worth 2 million Kenya shillings. They were charged with 12 counts in which they pleaded not guilty. On her ruling, the magistrate Beryl Omoko released each of them on a bond of 500,000 Kenya shillings with an alternative cash bail of 200,000 Kenya shillings. The matter will be mentioned on the 20th of October. Muthoni Maina, TV47.
Moving on, Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Macharia Kamau has blamed the misfortunes of Kenyans working in the Middle East on their lack of, listen to these, subservience to their masters. Macharia's remarks were made during the MP's induction event in Nairobi and comes at a time when cases of Kenyans stuck abroad are on the rise. And as Elizabeth Atieno now reports, a family in Kinango, Kwale County, is calling on the government to intervene and help them bring their ailing daughter who is stuck in Saudi Arabia.
In Mavarata village, Kinango constituency, Kwale County, we are welcome to the home of the Mwanyasi's family. This family has been forced to battle fear, despair and anguish for 3 months now after their 32-year-old kin Veronica Mwanyasi reached out to them to complain of how she has been neglected and abandoned despite her ill health.
Naomba mnisaidie jamani. Naomba mimi. Nimekuwa hapa toka Jumatatu, niko hapa mimi. Nirudisheni nyumbani, nilikuja huku kufanya kazi lakini naumwa, sijisikii vizuri, mwili wangu una nguvu.
Veronica left for Saudi Arabia on the 15th of February this year to work as a domestic worker so that she could at least fend for her family that is facing serious financial hurdles.
Naomba tu serikali imsaidie Veronica rudi Kenya. Serikali ifuatilie hizi agencies, zijue kwamba hizi agencies ambazo zinapeleka wasichana Saudi Arabia kwa sababu wana shida. Je, ni halali? Je, zinaweza kusimamia watu wakiteseka huko? Zinaweza simamia mtu kama amepatwa na shida upande huo? Hizi agencies zifuatiliwe.
Baibu na msaada huo tu wapate mtu wa kumrejesha Kenya aje muziki. Kile alichotapata atakula ni riziki yake.
Veronica's distraught mother Luvuno Mwanyasi is only left with regrets and does not know how they will come up with the 250,000 Kenyan shillings demanded by the agency to bring her daughter back.
Mimi mwenyewe kwanza hata sijui ni pesa lini 100 mkononi. Hai. Naona viunga tu vyende vikachukuliwe, hanigenile hakuna. Tafadhali hao wote angekuwa kazini. Huyu mama alikuwa anapokea pesa zote hivi zifungishwa, apati tashilingi.
Alafu iwe funzo, mimi nasema iwe funzo kwa huyu agency. Yaani huyo agency ajue ya kwamba anachukua wasichana wao wenyewe akiwaambia kwamba wanaenda fanya kazi Saudi Arabia, kumbe anawauza kwa pesa nyingi. Manake passport sidhani kama ni zaidi ya 2.5 laki. 2.5 Veronica alizikula wapi? Alizikula wapi 2.5?
Veronica's family is now calling on the government to intervene and see to it that their daughter comes back home to them as soon as possible before her health deteriorates further.
Na mimi la kufanya naomba tu aje nyumbani. Aje nyumbani tuje tusaidiane hapa nyumbani. Sasa mimi naomba pia nami ande arejeshwe hapa kwao. Akirudi huko kwao hata kosa mtu akumpa shilingi 10 akaenda kanunua kiasi akatafuna. Kuliko uende huko kwenye nyingi na hasipatikani. Kama mgonjwa utasipata vipi?
Veronica's case of Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Macharia Kamau blamed the misfortune on Kenyans working in the Gulf nation on their lack of submissiveness to their employers.
I have said that there are some places where culturally unyenyekevu ule ambao unahitajika kazi zingine za nyumbani sio unyenyekevu ambao unapatikana sana kati ya watu wetu. So sometimes our people will not be so subservient.
According to Macharia, the mistreatment is only confined in domestic setups, maintaining that Kenyans working in other sectors have had a good experience in the Middle East countries.
So you find that the people who suffer the terrible beatings, the people who suffer abuse, are usually people who are of that category, house helps. But in that same country where we have over 100,000 Kenyans working in different capacities in hotels, in transport, in taxis, we have no problem.
The Ministry of Labour has been urged to adequately prepare migrant workers and make them conversant with their host country's culture instead of rushing to implement policies which could risk the jobs of hundreds of thousands of Kenyans.
Are we exporting the right category of personnel? And do they have the right capacity and training to understand that culture before they leave and go and work there?